Hello, baseball fans. This is King Ikeboo coming to you live from the Astrodome in Houston, where we will have a preview of the real 1980 National League Championship between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros. Last time we saw J.R. Richard in action, he got shelled in Montreal. And this time we're going to give him another chance to see if he can do better this time against the Phillies. This is Richard's eighth start of the year, and therefore, as we saw before, he had 17 starts in 1980 before he had the stroke. So this is number 8. He still has another 9 starts after this one. So we regrettably are counting down the career of J.R. Richard. Richard is 4-1 with a 3.88 ERA. And here's the lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. Pete Rose leading off and playing first base. Bake McBride, batting second and playing right field. Batting third, playing center field, Dell Unser. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Mike Schmidt. Batting fifth, the catcher, Bob Boone. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Greg Gross. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Larry Boa. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Manny Trio, and batting ninth, the starter, Dick Ruthven. So we'll go to the starting lineup for Houston when they have their turn. We'll see how fast this game is. It's very fast. We'll lead off with Pete Rose. He's batting .242. He's below his standards, definitely. I guess he's leading by example this season. He's going to lead it off. And here's the first pitch by Richard. Strikes him out. Bake McBride, ground out. Dell Unser, he walks, and he has no chance of a stolen base, so he can't get the jump. That brings up Michael Jack Schmidt. Schmidt is batting .355 with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. The power isn't really there, although he has a pretty high slugging percentage, mostly doubles. Only have 6 home runs so far this season. So let's see what he does here. Advanced fielding superseded by pitcher's rating. It's not changed, and he strikes out Schmidt. So Richard has 2 strikeouts in the first inning. That brings up Dick Ruthven, pitching for Philadelphia. He's also 4-1 with a 2.11 ERA. Here's the starting lineup for the Houston Astros. Leading off and batting first, Denny Walling. Batting second and playing center field, or right field, the Canadian, Terry Poole. Batting third, the second baseman, as Howard Cosell always called him, the little pepper pot, Joe Morgan. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter, left field, Jose Cruz Sr. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Cesar Cedeno. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Enos Cabell. Batting seventh, the catcher, Alan Ashby. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Craig Reynolds. And batting ninth, the pitcher, J.R. Richard. So here's Walling. He's batting .388. Off to a really good start. But he flies out to right. Terry Poole. He walks, and he has a chance to steal. We're going to go for it. Rolls the dice, and he is in between 22 and 64, so he just stays on first. Can't get the jump. Brings up Joe Morgan, batting .257, 4 home runs, and 25 RBIs. So he's driving in a lot of runs, but he doesn't have a lot big in numbers, the other numbers. And he walks. So there's 2 men on with 1 out for Jose Cruz, batting .276, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. Double play ball. Ends this first inning. Here's Bob Boone, batting .250. He grounds out. Greg Gross. He strikes out. Third strikeout for Richard. Richard's pitching much better already than he did in Montreal. Larry Boa batting .243, and he flies out. We go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Cedeno gets double ones. He has 6 home runs. He's going for more. 42. That's a double for Cedeno. Next up is Enos Cabell. And he flies out. Runner holds. Ashby pops out to the shortstop. And Craig Reynolds is the last hope here in the second inning. He gets a base hit, and the runner scores. So we'll play it safe. I guess maybe we could have walked him, but yeah, I don't know if they could have walked him. Anyway, here's Richard with 2 out, and he is lowered as he falls out. He's lowered down to an A. He was A and C, which means he pretty much nullifies just about all the numbers between 7 and 10, but now he is down to an A. Here's Manny Trio batting .277, and he strikes out. That's a 4th strikeout for Richard. Ruthven, who's a decent hitter. And if we roll 11 or 12, he gets on with an error, and it's a 12, so he's on with an error. And he's on first base, and he'll try to steal, and he doesn't get the jump. So Ruthven is on. He's a fast. Now, I appreciated the last video. I had a commenter explain what the F means. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's a fast runner. It just means he scores a high percentage of times when he gets on base. So thank you for that clarification. He could be a fast runner and have an S because for some reason you get on base a lot, but you don't score a lot of runs. But Ruthven, when he gets on base, he tends to score runs. So it's 1-0 Astros on the clutch 2-out single by Craig Reynolds. And here's Pete Rose. He's 0 for 1 today. And he singles. It's a first hit for the Phillies. So it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out. And Ruthven's in scoring position for Bake McBride. Fly out, runners hold. And Dale Unser, batting .273, is up. And he strikes out. That's strikeout number 5 for JR. Go to the bottom of the 3rd. Denny Walling is up. He grounds out. And that brings up Poole. Poole gets a double ones. He has 1 home run this season. He's looking for more. 45. That is a double. So he's on 2nd for Joe Morgan. Grounds out. Stays at 2nd. And Jose Cruz, last chance in this inning. He flies out to end the inning and strands Poole. So both teams have 3 men left on base. Here's Schmidt. Schmidt gets a double roll. He could homer here. He has a high percentage of chance. 12. Just gets a single. Can steal. He will not try to steal. Or should he? Sure, he'll try. Doesn't get the jump. Here's Boone. So the Astros dodged a bullet there. No error. Man on 2nd still. 1 out for Gross. That's a walk. Richard does walk a lot of batters. Here's Boa. No, he doesn't get the base hit. Usually 1 or 2-5 is usually hit, but Richard nullifies it with that A rating. So it's 2 men on, 2 out for Trio. And last time I didn't walk to get to the pitcher, so I will not walk here to make it even, but he flies out. Here's Cesar Cedeno. Ground out. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's double roll for Cabell. He gets on. He's going to try to steal, and he gets thrown out. I surely do roll a lot of high 60s when I'm trying to steal. Seems like it anyway. So he gets on, but he's thrown out by Bob Boone. There's Ashby. He walks. Okay, there's 2 men out for Craig Reynolds, the hero so far. And he flies out. So that brings up Ruthven at the top of the 5th. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 6. Here's Rose. He flies out. McBride. He flies out. Richard is up. Ruthven, grade is lowered. He goes down to a D. He's given up a run, so he can be relieved, although he has no reliever available. Because none, and it's the first game of the series, so he is on his own until the 8th inning or 9th inning. The way I play it is we go by who pitched in real life, but in the 9th inning, if you have a lead, you can bring in the closer. So Ruthven is on his own. He has done well so far, and in the season, he only has a 2.12 ERA, so he's going to have to rely on his good fortune again. Here's Richard. Richard is 0 for 1, and he gets double sixes, so he could get a home run. He doesn't have a home run this year. 51. Look at this. Could be a homer. He could reduce it because he has a G rating. So if we roll a 1 to 11 to 26, he will magically take the home run away. And that's pretty realistic in the Astrodome. But it's over, so J.R. Richard gets a home run, his first of the year, and it's 2-0 Astros. Here's Denny Walling. Gets a base hit. Now this one is because Ruthven is a grade 6 pitcher. Grade 6 pitcher on a 65 gets a single. And he will not try to steal. So Walling is on with nobody out. Terry Poole, he gets double ones. The rolls are coming now for Houston. 44, that is a home run, although he could nullify it if he rolls a... Nope, it's over. So Terry Poole gets his second homer of the season. And it's 4-0 for Houston. Joe Morgan. 4-6, ground out. 6-4, strikeout. And double threes. 31. That's a triple for Cedeno. 2-out triple. There's always something doesn't sit right with me about 2-out triple. It's such an exciting play, but chances are you're going to be stranded on third unless Enos Cabell can come through here, and he doesn't. He strikes out. So that ends the 5th inning, where the score is Houston 4, Philadelphia nothing. Richard is definitely pitching better than he did in Montreal. Here's Unser. He grounds out to the second baseman Morgan. Strikeout. Second time Schmidt has struck out in this game. Boone. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 8 for JR. Here's Ashby. He is 0 for 1. And he grounds out to the shortstop, Boa. Reynolds, 2-4. He strikes out. Richard hit a home run last time, and he strikes out this time. There's Greg Gross, top of the 7th inning. Strikeout. That's strikeout number 9. Here's Boa. He strikes out. That's number 10 for Richard. And another. He strikes out this side. He struck out the last 5 batters he's faced and now has 11 on the game. Here's Walling in the bottom of the 7th. 4-0 for Houston. He strikes out. Everybody's striking out now. Here's Poole. He grounds out to end the streak of the strikeout. And Morgan, he is on an error. So both teams have an error in this game, and he steals second base. So he's in scoring position for Jose Cruz with 2 out. And he flies out the end of the inning. And Richard is now hit his cutoff, and he's now a D. He does have Smith available in the bullpen, but he has not given up a run yet, so he has to stay in the game, according to the house rules. Ruthven has to stay in because there's nobody to relieve him. But he's a decent hitter, so it doesn't hurt that much. And he strikes out. That's number 12 for Richard. Here's Rose. He doesn't strike out very often, but he strikes out. Number 13 for J.R. Richard. Bake McBride. See if he can strike out. He does! So he has struck out the last 8 batters he's faced. Oh, it's so sad that he had... I know I'd say it every time, but what a pity that this man had to end his career so early, because he was he could have been one of the greats of all time. There's no doubt in my mind. Cedeno, bottom of the 8th. The Phillies trail 4-0. That's a walk. Now I think some people play house rules where they don't try to steal, so we'll play it safe, even though it's tempting to give Cedeno a stolen base. Here's Enos Cabell. He is 1 for 3. He flies out. Ellen Ashby, 3-5. Wild pitch. Cedeno is on second. Ashby's still up. And he flies out. And Craig Reynolds. This time we are going to intentionally walk Craig Reynolds. Although J.R. Richard hit a home run. Remember that? Look at that. He hits double sixes again. Will he get his second home run of the game? 24. No, but he gets a double. Scores 2 runs. So J.R. Richard is the offensive powerhouse. 2 for 4. A home run and 3 RBIs in this game. So don't you dare walk the guy in front of me, says J.R. Richard. Here's Denny Walling. Error. Another error. The Phillies are falling apart. Trailing 6-0. Here's Poole. 2 men on. And he gets a base hit. But the runner on first gets thrown out trying to go to third to end the inning, and it's 7-0 Astros. Richard stays in the game because he has to. He hasn't given up a run, but I think I'd keep him anyway because he has a good chance at a shutout. And let's see how many strikeouts he can get. Another one. So that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive strikeouts for J.R. Richard. He has 15 in the game. Here's Schmidt. Will he end the strikeout consecutive streak? Flies out. And Boone. He gets on with a walk. He will not steal. 7 runs down. Gross. Walk. 2 consecutive walks. Boa. 3 consecutive walks. Bases loaded. 2 out in the 9th for Manny Trio. A single 2-run score. There goes the shutout. As we see so many times, the pitcher gives up his shutout with 2 outs in the 9th. He will not try to steal. So now he just has to stay alive in the ball game. Okay, so we can bring in Smith now, but we won't quite yet. Let's hope for that 16th strikeout. Here's Ruthven is up. I think we're going to bring in a pinch hitter for Ruthven. They didn't use a pinch hitter in this game. Let's see who they... Yeah, we can bring in Luzinski. That would make sense. So we're going to bring in the Bull. And he's going to try for the home run here. So where are you, Luzinski? Luzinski is batting .135, but he has 8 home runs. And if he homers here, he'll make it 7-5. He gets double twos, single and scores, but the runner is out going to third. I think Dallas Green's going to chew out that man. Who was he? Who was it? It wasn't Luzinski. I think it was Trio. But that ends the ball game. So your final score from the Astrodome: Houston 7, Philadelphia 3. J.R. Richard finishes the game with 15 strikeouts. Gives up 3 runs, unfortunately, to get his, but he gets his ERA down to 3.75. That's his 5th win of the season. Ruthven takes the loss. He is down to 4-2. That is your ball game. Big offensive hero. You could argue it's Terry Poole, but I'm going to give it to J.R. Richard in honor of him. So that's your ball game. Thank you for tuning in. This is King Iggy Boo coming to you live from the Houston Astrodome, the 8th wonder of the world, where the final score once again, the Houston Astros 7 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. So long.